any validation Nuggets coach Michael Malone needed about the job he's done in Denver or the culture he's instilled was finalized hours before the season started when his contract extension became official. The Nuggets were in Los Angeles prior to their season opener against the Clippers, and Malone was almost reticent to address the news, wary of preempting any formal release. But if the ensuing 6 months have provided any clarity, Malone has already made good on the deal, which extends through the 2020-21 season. He's navigated a flood of injuries to prominent pieces like Gary Harris, Will Barton and Paul Millsap, emboldened reserves Monty Morris and Malik Beasley to play beyond their years and guided Denver's budding contender to at least one round of home court advantage this postseason, if not more. End-season awards can often be a crapshoot, but Malone is on the shortlist for Coach of the Year. That list also includes Milwaukee's Mike Budenholzer, Indiana's Nate McMillan and Los Angeles Clippers coach Doc Rivers. Budenholzer turned the Bucks into an efficiency powerhouse and unleashed MVP-caliber Giannis Antetokounmpo. McMillan didn't allow the Pacers to collapse after Victor Oladipo's season-ending injury, and they're still in contention for a top 3 seed in the East. Rivers had his best player traded at the deadline, yet the Clippers are all but assured of a playoff appearance. All three have valid claim to the award. So does Malone. The Nuggets jumped from the worst three-point defense in the league last year all the way to 8th this year. Overall, they have the 11th best defensive rating this season, up from 23rd last year. Our numbers defensively have shot through the roof from last year, Morris said. He's put in rotations, he gave us chances to win. For Maloney, his case is built not just on the Nuggets' improbable leap from barely missing the playoffs in 2 consecutive seasons to flirting with the top seed in the Western Conference, it's how Malone has traversed the season with his young team, often reflecting the mood he wants his team to exhibit. If a winning streak has the locker room satisfied, expect Malone to expose their shortcomings and demand more focus. As recently as this week, when the Nuggets were safely in the No. 2 seed, he wouldn't concede that the playoffs were a foregone conclusion. But an extended losing streak has sapped the fun out of a given week. Malone can be counted on to keep the stretch in perspective, cognizant that the team is taking its cues from him. Consequently, Malone has excelled at managing the locker room. It helps that Denver's core, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray and Harris, has grown up under Malone's watchful eye, but the truth is that Malone holds everybody, including his star players, accountable. If Jokic isn't aggressive enough, Malone tells him. Same thing if he feels Murray is playing selfishly. He knows you can lose a locker room quickly if you don't. He's got great guys, Millsap joked. But on top of that, you've still got to be able to manage the talent level that we have. We've got a lot of guys that can play. For him to manage the times and to manage the egos on that end, where guys want to play and can't, it's been pretty good. Most recently, he made the trying decision to bench Isaiah Thomas, whose personal relationship with Malone dates back to their time in Sacramento and was one of the reasons Thomas opted to come to Denver in the first place. Malone first addressed it with Thomas so he wasn't blindsided when his name wasn't called to check in against Minnesota. Just because that's professional protocol in the NBA doesn't make it any easier. I think the more honest and upfront you are with guys, the more they respect you. Millsap added, speaking generally about Malone's candor. I think he's been that for the whole year. Guys respect people who come to them and tell them the truth even if you don't want to hear it. Not scared to tell them the truth. He's good at that. Hopefully he'll win it.